Hello, Janet. Hello, Gary. Good to see you guys here. Jeffrey, good to see you. I'm a couple minutes late, guys. I'm telling you right now, I don't have a whole lot, but we'll get into the show. But I'm going to start by, getting into the pledge and then the song, and then we'll come back and do the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't know. I'm right. If tomorrow all the things were gone, I don't know. Don't say. And I had to start again, just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no town I love as this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no town of this land. God bless the USA. Still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless you.
Yes, yes, yes. God bless USA. Proud to be an American where we're free. And we take it for granted, everyone. Hey, Bill Woods, Jeffrey, Gary, Cindy. Cindy, I got your message, and no, I don't know anything about them things that you're taking. So as you're using them, keep me informed. Hi, Annie. So to me, I want to talk about the kids because I don't want to get into other things just yet. And Jimmy and Patriot 11, you're about the same age to go along with other kids that's on the show. I think Patriot Karate Kid is about your age too. And that's the thing with our kids that we have on here. Most of them are about the same age. Patriot Princess and Hunter, I think Hunter might be one of the older ones at like 13. I thought that's what I heard he was. I may be mistaken. You know, Patriot Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. You know, Boogs, the oldest of John's, is, I believe she just turned 13. She might be pushing 14. If John was on, he'd let us know. Hey, Betty Woods, good to see you, Gary. And then, you know, in my grandkids, I have Patriot Small Hank, who is 8. Patriot Kira, who is only, should be 2 in December. Patriot Little Monkey, who is 5. Patriot 7, who is 10. And then Patriot Super Gymnast, who is 11, will be 12 in March. And I'm saying this because it has a purpose, kids. It has a purpose. How many of you got up today and went to school? How many of you got up today and before other people was even up, was on the computer? Instead of doing things kids should do, you was on the computer or your tablet or your cell phone. And there is a reasoning for my asking you this, see, because you're allowed to do that. Is it right? No, not for me. I say you get up, you get your breakfast, you get ready for school, you go to school, you come home, you do your chores, and then you go outside and you play. Because it's not going to be too much longer, kids. You're not going to be able to go outside and play because it's going to be too cold. And then you're going to be saying, well, Mom, there's nothing to do. The same thing to do that you're doing now. And that's getting on your computers, getting on your tablets, and getting on your cell phones. It'll get to the point where maybe you'll even say, hey, Mom, can I just take the dogs out so I can get outside? Can I go out and play in the cold? And then come in and hope and pray that Mom will do what my mom used to do when we played in the cold, and now it's to have some hot chocolate with some marshmallows ready. And I'm not getting on kids per se because it is what it is. But that's going to happen. But see, there's a method to my madness, kids, because all the things that you could be doing, all the games you could be playing, all the talking to your friends outside and hanging out that you can be doing, you can do. And you choose not to. I was talking to Julia in a letter the other day, and it hit me like a brick crapper house falling on you. A brick crapper house fall on you is an experience of a lifetime. But it hit me that these kids in the Ukraine, they don't have the opportunity to get up in the morning, make breakfast, go outside and play. A fun day for them is to get to go to school, to be with their friends and forget having a cell phone. There's some kids at the age of you guys that don't know what it's like to go outside and play, or the fear that they might, something bad might happen because of the militaries. But see, we expended it, hi Maria. We expended our conversation over the course of this week. And when people say, you know, the wars are terrible, wars are miserable. You know, I've seen the statistics, kids. How many people, how many soldiers were sent to Vietnam when they was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old when President John Fitzgerald Kennedy got in there? You know, because he did it because it was the right thing to do, but he didn't send everybody's child over there. He defended the United States of America. He took care of the United States of America because he was a true patriot. He's the one that truthfully was the one that put us on the map of where we're at now, kids. And you're about ready to experience something that's unbelievable. But when he was taken down in Dallas that day, Lyndon Baines Johnson took over. The first year that Lyndon Baines Johnson took over for what he was doing, 113,000 kids who had went to Vietnam for a stupid war, a war that was kept going by people in the United States of America so they could go and make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. They did not one care about a kid's life as long as they kept making cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And it went from a little over 100,000 people with President John Fitzgerald Kennedy to over 500,000 people in less than a year. What do you think about that, Papa G? What do you think the kids? And I'm trying to talk to the kids because you have the right. You have the ability to go play. How many of you went outside and played today? Here, it's a beautiful day today. It would have been a beautiful day to get outside and play. The minute my grandson, small Hank, came home, he got on the TV and started watching cartoons. His dad got done working. His mom is up at the hospital. Her grandmother had a very bad attack, and we'll keep my daughter-in-law's grandmother, in our prayers. She had a very bad attack of the blood sugar. Diabetes, it got down to as low as 50. And, under 50, you can easily go into a coma. I look at it a lot different than they do. I look at it, it's terrible. Diabetes is terrible, but it's something that I'm going to get into in just a little bit. I don't want to cover it here. But kids, what I'm saying, how many did you go out and actually play? Because I'm trying to explain to you, as I'm talking to Julia and we're talking about the kids, and I said, Julia, do you realize the kids in your country that are 10 and under, they can't even remember being able to come home from school and go out and play. They can't remember before they even went to school at 5 years old to go outside and play and be safe. If they went outside, mom and dad didn't know they were coming back in. And that has to be a terrible life. But as much hatred as this woman has for a certain man in another country, and you know what country I'm talking about, as much, she said, but Ralph, do you understand? It's not just the kids in the Ukraine. The kids in Russia don't know the difference either. And that's what we have to put a stop to. And that's what we have to put a stop to. So kids, I asked you last weekend, go out and play. And on Monday, if it's through your grandparents, if it's through your mom and dad, or if you just want to come on the show yourself and get in the chat and say, Patriot 5 and Patriot 6, I went outside and played. I used this weekend. We're getting close to the fall season. The fall season gets us closer to the winter season, and you might not get the opportunity to go out and play. So put your computers, put your tablets, put your phones away and go outside and play. Or have some friends come over, and if nothing else, just be together as friends. Just get with a group of people and be together. If you got brothers and sisters and the friends can't come over, do something with your brothers and sisters. And Patriot 7 will be playing a football game tomorrow. And in that football game tomorrow, he'll be with his teammates for around 2 hours. He'll be with his family, his 2 sisters, his mom and dad in the car as they drive a half an hour to the game and a half an hour home. And they'll probably stick around and watch a little bit of the next game, which is the Kit League he'll be in next year. So he's going to do some things. And so many times when he comes home, Mom, can so-and-so come over so we can play catch with the football, so we can practice kicking? And that's what I want to see all of you kids do. I want to see you get out there and be kids. You know, the generation that I'm from, the baby boomers, there'll never be a generation like that again. You know, I've had people tell me, you don't understand computers. You don't understand this. You don't understand that. Our generation invented this stuff. But then I see my grandkids and other grandkids, kids that are the ages I've been talking about here. And I'll look at someone, I'll say, where's your kid tonight? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Just coming down here to get ready for the show tonight. My son is sitting watching by himself because his wife, my daughter-in-law, is up at the hospital with her grandmother. She's up there. And I says, where's small Hank? He goes, up in his room. Up in his room? What's he doing up in his room? Because as soon as he got home from school, boom, he went right to the TV. Gets his cell phone and gets on there and starts chatting with Kira's babysitter. Does all of this. He's up in his room because he has a TV in his room. My goodness gracious. At his age, we had just more or less got the very first TV you ever had. And you know what it was used for? It was used for family time at night. When it was too dark to be outside and play. When the chores were done and dinner was over. And kids, I'm just asking you, go out and be a kid this weekend. And I know you're not going to do it. That whatever, hi, Dean. Yes, they do. Stationary bikes work really good. Stationary bikes and treadmills. Myself, I just walk. And I do a lot of walking in the house. Hi, Melvetta. Do we have some new people on tonight? Gary. Trying to get everybody here. Well, congratulations on that bike, Dean. So, you know, I've went long enough about the kids. And I'm asking you to do what I'm asking you to do, but most of you won't. And then you'll get up Monday morning and you'll be tired. We got to go to school again. Well, it is what it is. So that concludes tonight's version of the kids show. This video is not meant for kids unless it's under the discretion of their parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. The music I played tonight is for entertainment purposes only. Guys, I need 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I need 2 minutes. I'm down at Ron's, and I left my car windows down because it was beautiful when I came in. But unfortunately, it's thundering and lightning. I'm about ready to get a storm. I got to go roll my windows up. Give me 2 minutes.
Don't go whining now. I did send you some stuff home that I found out not there.
I'm sorry about that, everyone. it actually has started to rain. That was a surprise. Cindy said it didn't rain there in Florida today. I didn't know it was supposed to rain here. To be honest with you, I thought that we were good, but unfortunately, we're not. So, as I said, I've completed all the information I need to talk about the show, and it's not meant for kids. It's and the music is for entertainment purposes only. So I do want to talk about some things, and guys, I don't have a whole lot. I'm very frustrated the way things are going. I thought this week was going to be a lot better. I thought this week was going to be a situation where we got some really great news, especially when, they keep telling us our president, for this to happen, will be out of the country, and he was out of the country. And there's all this stuff that you've seen. Did you see that he was walking with the royal in their little parade or whatever it was? But the king, it was behind, Melania was wearing a certain color outfit, which means that she's the queen. And I mean, there were so many things. Huh? The hat. But the hat might match the color of her outfit. That's what I was going. So it was the hat that means that she's the queen. When asked what she thought about that, have you noticed how we're starting to hear from her more? Is she who we think she is? We don't know. Are we going to find out? I thought this week, I really did. He had to be out. And then when I hear that he's going to be meeting with Xi, the guy from China, and he's also going to be meeting with Putin from Russia, who they're going to get this thing taken care of because the world leaders are sick and tired of this war going on. They need us to get in and get this over with so we can get to the big N and the big G. And everything was starting to fall into place, I thought. And then I see a video today of the hat. I see a video of the hat on the phone with Xi. And the conversation is not that Xi is with him in the UK, but he's still in China, which was not supposed to have been, to my knowledge. But they're discussing finalizing the deal on TikTok. Are you freaking kidding me? World leaders are getting together while we have war, and we're worried about a freaking place called TikTok. And I lost it, as you can tell. I am not a happy man. We have given this president, we have given this regime a lot of time. We all say he's an A for what he's doing. But what the hell is he doing for us that he's worried about TikTok? Are you freaking kidding me? He's worried about TikTok. Let's get TikTok to be good. And I know someone's going to come out and they're going to say, well, President the Hat or President Xi discussed TikTok. And they're going to do a gematria on it. And when they do the gematria on it, they're going to give us the answers that we're too stupid to understand because they won't come out and tell us what they're doing. Everything has to be through gematria. I suggest for doing that, you listen to Patriot Princess. She's very good at gematria. I used to like listening to Wano Savan. He was very good at gematria, but you don't see him much anymore until he literally comes out on the Monday before Charlie Kirk met his demise on a Wednesday and said on Wednesday, there will be someone very important, someone very popular taken out. Are you kidding me? And I loved Charlie Kirk. And he bursted onto the scene because I didn't even follow him until 6 months or a year ago. And then I started talking to him about it on the shows because what this man did for college kids, for this man to go and get not just thousands, but millions and tens of millions of kids to open their eyes what colleges really are. And, he didn't just talk the talk. He walked the walk, because whenever he was in a confrontation, and, people said, they call him all these names. They call him all of this stuff. They do this and they do that. And they have the right to do that, because in the United States, as long as you're not slandering somebody, you have freedom of speech. There's a gentleman out there, he's a night show host, who's been taken down. The man should have been taken down years ago. I won't say my actual opinions of him, because if I did, we wouldn't have a show on Monday. Which, since I mentioned Monday show will be in the afternoon, probably around 2, because Monday is my son's birthday. And I would imagine we're going to do something Monday night, whether it's just cake, an ice cream, or probably that we'll go out to eat and I'll go with them, or I'll meet them there. So I just wanted to bring that up. So anybody who wants to see the show, if you can't make it Monday afternoon around 2 Central Time, it'll be up there so you can catch it at any time. Hey, Myrna, good to see you here. Now, not camping this weekend, Myrna? So, like I said, I just went on a little rant, but there's just a lot of things going on. I'm at the point that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm at the point that I talked about little kids in 2 countries that don't have the ability to go outside and play. And we have to worry about TikTok. And I know it's going to come back and bite me right where I sit, because someone's going to come and they're going to say, well, Patriot 5, Ralph, this is why we're doing this. And it's going to make sense. Didn't tell us the sense. Tell us why we're doing this. Guys, we're over halfway through September. What was it? The 21st of January, he took over. He's got no tax on tips. He's got the tariffs. Money, hundreds of trillions of dollars he has coming in. But every month, senior citizens are going to get a raise. And every month, come about the 24th, 25th, 26th of the month, well, they're not going to get it this month. They're going to get it next month. Every month, we're going to get Doge money. And about the 24th, 25th, or 26th of the month, well, we're not going to get it this month. We're going to get it next month. Everything is a lie. They say it has to happen twice. Well, to me, from January 21st to where Sunday will be September 21st, that long of a time is more than twice.
9 months.
As Ron says, 9 months. I knew that, but I wanted to make sure. Hey, Gordon, how are you? What a movie, huh, Gordon? Yeah. It's now turned into Nightmare on 35th Street or whatever. What was it? Miracle on 34th. Now it's Nightmare on 34th. The whole thing is, when I make popcorn, I don't make it like most people make it. Tell you a quick little, I think is a cute story. I'm talking to Patriot 7 the other night. I took their supper over to them because I told you guys that they had the house fire and their stove is not working. Their microwave is completely shot. So I took supper over for him because he had football practice. And I said something. I said, hey, me and Ron's thinking about getting a cheap microwave. Our microwave went shot. We're thinking about just getting a cheap one, somewhere between $69 and $109. And I said, how about we go out? I'll get it tomorrow. You can use it until you get a chance to go get one. And she says, no, Dad, we're really doing okay. We're all right. We're all right. And I said, no, you need something to get the meals done. And it dawned on me then, wow, my daughter, when I babysat the last 3-4 years, she was using the crock pot to make suppers almost every night when she was teaching school. And now I don't know if she forgot about it. I know I had, because Ron even brought it up to me, why don't she crock pot something? But it's okay because it was fine. And I went over and got them supper. I got to spend a little time with them. But I'm standing there. And when I say this about the microwave, my daughter says, we're fine, we're fine. And Liam, Patriot 7, says, I'm missing my popcorn. I said, what do you mean you're missing your popcorn? Well, yeah. Grab a bag of popcorn, throw it in the microwave. And I said, oh, that's how you pop popcorn up. Because I guess the burners might still work. They just don't want to use them because they're scared. They got some parts coming to see if they can fix the stove. If not, they give the parts back. They get their money back, and they buy a brand new stove. But I says, what is microwave popcorn? See, guys, I don't make microwave popcorn. I take a pan, I put some oil in it, I put some butter in it. I do that way. I let it all melt. I put popcorn in it and I shake it. And it's a lot better than microwave. But we're running out of butter. We're running out of oil. I can't tell you how many times I have had to make a trip to Kankakee, which is 20 miles away, just to get popcorn. Now, the Dollar Tree, and that's another good one, too, we got going. We have a store in our area, a whole chain of them, called the Dollar Tree. Everything's $1. You go in there, you pick up 4 items, you walk up there, and they'll look at you, and they'll say, $5.25. Wait a minute. I only got 4 items. Oh, well, because of COVID, everything went up in prices. Everything got higher. So our dollar store is now $1.25 store. But see, now that they've changed it to do that, and has this happened to anybody else? Cindy, Tony, Janet, are you seeing this stuff too? Now our dollar store, since they can raise everything up to $1.25, I says, then why don't you put on the windows, it's called the $1.25 store. Well, because we got a chain of them all over the United States, and we'd have to change everything. I said, oh, so you're just going to lie to your customers? Anyway, they didn't like me. A lot of people don't when I get on a rant and a rave. Now the dollar store says, hey, wait a minute. You go out of the dollar store, you go to a place where you can buy legalized marijuana. You go to a place where you can buy all of the stuff like that. And then you go in one more store down and you go to Walmart. Well, wait a minute. Walmart's got pizzas over there that they sell for $4.99. We're going to bring the same pizzas in and sell them for $4.25. Our customers will save money. So now they're selling stuff for up to $5, $6, $7, $8 in a dollar store. It's all bullcrap. But that's okay. Everybody, just stay calm, because world leaders got together today and discussed the right way to handle TikTok, because that's what matters the most. That's what matters, the right way to handle TikTok. Isn't that amazing? It just brightened my day. Yeah, I got, as the song says, I just had to go outside and roll my windows up. But you know what? I got sunshine on a cloudy day, because we know now that TikTok is going to be okay. Oh, yes. Janet says, Ralph, go to Dollar General in the dollar section, buy the same products that Dollar Tree. I do that. As a matter of fact, I had to go pick up a prescription today, and I have to drive almost 20 miles to a little town to get it. I get over there, and right where I got to go to CVS, there's the high school in Braidwood, Illinois. And there's flashing lights and roads blocked off. And I pull up and I look at the gentleman out there and I said to the officer, I said, "Sir, are they getting ready to have their homecoming parade?" He said, "Yes, sir, they are." I said, "I'm not getting into this town. I'm not going to get to the store to get my medicine, am I?" He said, "Not unless you want to wait for about a half an hour to 45 minutes. And I said, "Yeah, you know what? I think I'll go home." But on the way home, I stopped at the Dollar General in Essex. And every Saturday around our area, there's Dollar Generals everywhere. But every Saturday, if you keep your receipt, you'll also get a $5 off coupon on, if you spend at least $25, they take $5 off your bill. So that's when I go and get my dog food and cat food and other items like that, Janet, in the dollar section. And I go and I do that. And I go in there today, and me and Ron's going to have tacos for supper as soon as I get done with the show. And I went over to get the taco shells and the soft shells and a few other things that we needed. And all of a sudden, I said, "Well, you know, we need something to drink tonight." So I get us these fruit punches. And I'm getting this and I'm getting this. And I said, "Well, I can use this too. And my cat needs treats. Ron's cat needs treats." So I got some of them. And I get up there, and as the girl looks at me and says, "Oh, you double dipping?" I said, "Excuse me?" And this is a lady I get along really great with. She said, "You double dipping?" I says, "Well, I wish it was Saturday. So I give you a coupon and I get the $5 off." But see, this store, you don't need the coupon. They save them. When I look at people say, "You want your receipt?" Most people say no. So they'll take and they'll keep the $5 off coupons right there. So you don't have to have them. You just go there, you get it, you take care of it, and you get your $5 off. And I said, "I wish it was Saturday." She said, "Oh, no, we run it the whole week." I said, "Really?" So I got my $5 off. But yes, Janet is right. Forget about Dollar Tree. Go to Dollar General if you have one in your area. Go to the dollar section. They have toilet paper. They have cleaning supplies. They have paper plates. They have stuff for animals. They have, huh? No, Ron's saying they have bridge mix, but Ron doesn't understand the bridge mix is in the other counter, and they went from $1 to $1.25. Bridge mix is something me and Ron used to treat ourselves to, a little candy every now and then, and we would get a bag of that a piece and have it for a snack watching TV. The other night I went there and picked up some stuff, and I picked us up a bag, so he was thinking about it. But anyway, I've rant and rave, but let's see what kind of really, let's see if we can get away from TikTok being saved. I'm sorry.
I just got off my barrel what Tony said that.
Well, and I haven't got there. So this is fresh off the press. This is from Mike Barra's channel, which Ron has to send it to me because Mike Barra kicked me. They kicked me off of his channel because I was telling the truth on there one day, and they have a guy, I can't remember. It's got a real stupid name. Super Clutter. So I remember what his name is, but he's a moderator. And Janet's my moderator. I seen Myrna was here. Anybody else want to be moderators? Papa G. Ron is saying that you'd like to be one. Bill Woods, what about you? See, and the reason I'm asking is because you guys are here all the time. And Myrna was here. I don't know if she's still here. But here recently, Janet's the only moderator I've been having. So get in touch with me if you'd like to be one. So
we're just going to make a couple anyway.
Patriot Diane with 2 N's tried to contact Ron just before the show, and we were getting ready. She left him a message and said that TNT Tony was going to be doing something at 6:30. She would let know, but then someone tried to call him just as the show was starting, but he was starting to send out the examples to people. Starting to send out the examples to people. And he couldn't answer the phone. So he went to Mike Barra, and this is what Tony had to say. Tony says, and my screen goes blank. Tony says that for security, they're ensuring all banks can participate in our exchange. In this way, certain banks or branches cannot be targeted by people looking for individuals with currency. Tony was told that Sudani announced 2 days ago with ALAK, the U.S. ambassador and treasury rep, at a financial meeting that this would go live in 4B. No, this would go live in 48 hours. That was Wednesday. Tony's IMF contact verified this, so we're waiting for it to go through. He says it will not happen in the middle of the day. We will wake up to it. It will happen in the early morning hours. Everyone who bought currencies at banks or who put currencies in safety deposit box, which you have to report, will receive an email, and there will be a note on your account. Contact the bank for exchange. People with SKRs, their accounts will go live and be credited. Any wealth managers other who will be doing exchanges will be calling people they know have currencies. All will happen at the same time. They want us in first. Everyone who knows about the RV, then it will show up on the Forex and the general population can go. This can start tomorrow, but could be Monday because Forex is closed for the weekend. People could start tomorrow. Sudani's announcement makes it international, which has to happen before we can go. Did he actually make the announcement? Tony says it could already be done. Apparently, Frank said today Iraq is sovereign nation. Tony says that was announced Monday when Congress removed the ability for the military to enter Iraq with force. Tony is alluding to Iraq still wanting their 72 hours after the 48 hours, so he thinks we may start Monday. The Sabernero, there was planned to include, he is asking his contact questions about Venezuela live during the call. IMF and CIA were both texting Tony. Tony was told to say it's questionable. It could go either way. Everything else is going. Tony is awaiting the 800 number, or they could leave it to us to find a branch that will do our exchange. If the bank ceiling is too low, they will not be able to do it. One bank transferred $100 billion around the country to its branches so people who want cash in hand can see it. Tony believes, he said billions, not millions. Tony doesn't know why anyone needs cash in hand when they have a debit card and can ask for a high limit of it. The rate, so the great interest rates should be at least 20%. Every bank is going to go with tiers. It will not be made up in person. You meet with the tier determines what rate you get based on how much you have. For IQD, Tony believes 1 million will get you a higher rate. Tony says no business plan will determine what you get. Not every bank will take Zim or every currency. HSBC, Wells Fargo, Citibank will take Zim. Tony believes the banks have done everything they needed to do. They are participating. They want cashless societies, according to Tony, so everyone needs some kind of account. to transfer money. Tony is still hoping it will happen tomorrow morning, but everything is ready, even though they made this big change to all the banks participating. So don't worry if it slips to Monday. My paraphrasing based on everything Tony has said. Tony took a message and said, it looks like it's going to be an interesting week. It's not 1,000% until it happens. Everybody is giddy. They definitely want the public going next week, and this well in hand before the end of the month to stop the government shutdown on the 30th. Tony says, whether you believe it or not, this is going to happen. So that is some good news. Ron just got that for me. It says here that the White Sox will be making big changes to their crew that announces games, and hallelujah, being a White Sox fan, to be honest with you, and if there's White Sox fans out there and I offend you with this, I am sick and tired of listening to Steve Stone kiss every other team's players as rear ends. That's all he's turned into, is a glorified lip kisser on the rear end. And I mean, the man knows more about baseball. He's probably forgot more about baseball than most people will ever know. But the fact is, he announces for the Chicago White Sox, and he's not doing the job. So let's bring fresh people in. I should apply. Here's another flag that the Cubbies lost last night. That's always a good one for all you Cubby fans. But congratulations to you Cubby fans. You did make the playoffs. You was going to win the division, but you didn't win the division. But you did make the playoffs, and congratulations. Because the whole thing of it is with Major League Baseball, football, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you can't win the World Series. You can't win the Super Bowl. You can't win the NBA Finals. You can't win any sports unless you make the playoffs. And if you don't, you're a team like the White Sox sitting at home waiting for next year. This is Bruce from last night. Ron got this from, I think, Carpathia. Bruce, not a lot of news. People are saying there are no redemption centers, but being a currency and Zim holder, you need a redemption center. Why do people say no redemption centers? Many people are in charge of several redemption centers from the Southwest to Midwest and so on. Bruce says he knows who these people are, and where these redemption centers are. Now our talk with them is limited. If someone says there are no redemption centers, only banks, it is not true. There are tens of thousands of redemption centers throughout the USA, Mexico, and Canada. The 800 number will be given out from the big call as soon as Bruce gets it. The contract rate on the dinar was renegotiated at a good rate, not available at a bank. Call the 800 number and go to the redemption center with matches the zip code you enter. Now, I read that because reading what I just read, what Tony just says, and now reading what Bruce is saying, I felt the reason Bruce talked about the redemption centers. There is no redemption centers. He knows there is redemption centers. He knows how many redemption centers there are. They're everywhere. We will be getting the 800. I felt Bruce was so knee deep in promoting Sue and Bob's products last night that he had to have something to talk about. He says, why is people saying there's no redemption centers? Nobody knows they're saying it, Bruce, if you don't announce it. Then he's saying he will be the one that gives out the 800 number. Is he willing? If the 800 number comes out tonight, is Bruce willing to go on and do a show tonight, a special show like I've told you I'll do? As soon as I find out the 800 number and I can give it out, I will come on and do a show with it. So whether you get it there, you can watch the show at a later date with the 800 if they allow me to do it. But there's one person saying this and there's one person saying this. And the only thing I get out of that is we have people who want to be the superstars. Me, I could care less. I just want to get the 800 number. And if I go to a bank, I go to a bank. If I go to a redemption center, I go to redemption. Because if I go to the bank, it means I get to go. If it's just a regular bank, I go to my regular bank 4 miles away. And I'm going to get to walk in. And when I tell them who I am and what I'm member of, they're not going to take me up to the counter. They're going to take me to the back office or something with the president and people who are distinguished. People who have shit on me their whole lives. Because, see, I'm from Buckingham. They're from Hershire. And they're gonna have to sit there and eat mine for a while. And I'm going to sit there. And you know, and people say, why would you need cash to go? If you're going to have a debit card that you can have millions of dollars put on it. It's the principle. We've waited so long. Would it hurt to walk out with a couple $1,000s cash? Would it hurt that? No, it wouldn't. And I'm hoping that we can walk out. You know, Janet, if you're going to go, Gordon, Howard, if you're going to go to a redemption center or a bank, you know, Wallace, new people, Gary, Cindy, if you guys are going to go, Betty Woods, wouldn't you like to walk out with at least something that you can put in your purse or in your wallet and think, wow, I got $2,000 cash in my wallet. I got $2,000 cash in my purse. At first, they was going to let us leave with at least $10,000. Now they don't even want to know if they're going to give us anything. We've waited so long. Don't we want the proof? Yes, the proof is in the pudding. It's in your card, in your purse, or your wallet. But to walk out, and as I'm going to my car, I think, wow, I hope my wallet don't burn up because there's actually cash in it. Because we went so long and hurt so much. And you know, I've made fun of the TikTok thing tonight. But right there is a reason I've made fun of the TikTok. That the two world leaders, the two biggest world leaders in the whole wide world, are on the phone discussing what we're going to do with TikTok. When there's people on the street tonight, out in this rain, in the thunderstorms, hoping that they can stay dry because they don't have a roof over there. That's what we need to take care of, folks. Not worry about TikTok surviving. You know, shut everything down. Shut all social media sites down. And when we go to this, then we can bring them up the right way. That's what they're going to do anyway. So if they're going to do that anyway, why are we worried? Why is the two biggest leaders in the world on the phone discussing that when they got other bigger fish to fry? To say that's bothered me is an understatement. What is happening with Iraq rates? There is no front screen on Forex and the IQD now, but can change at any time. But the Iraqs were told that they have a new credit debit card. One of the banks that is a partner with Chase here in the USA, Iraq is going pretty much digital with some lower denoms of the IQD. President the Hat sent a group of 3 over to Iraq on Monday to finish up what needed to be wrapped up, and that wrapped up on Wednesday. And we were told by the person who gave us the info that we would have about 72 hours for the kickoff of what we wanted. So it comes up to Saturday for a possible kickoff day, and the other sources say the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and others say anytime from now until Sunday. Some of the info that we have received are from not people who are bankers or redemption center staff, but people close to the process. It is quiet out there right now. Bruce said on Tuesday, bondholders would be going into revert in Reno, and it did not start up at 4 a.m. last Tuesday, and was supposed to take us to 5 p.m. on Saturday Reno time. They are vetting the bonds, making sure all is legit with the bondholders. The rest of it is pretty much already stuff I've talked about, what Bruce had to say. In my mind, same old over and over. Listening to, I don't know who his contacts are, but you're hearing the exact same thing from other leaders. I really do believe we're close, and I'm going to tell you why. Is was about 2 weeks ago, a gentleman from down under, he went on a rant. I can't take it anymore. I'm done. Da 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 da. And he went on a rant. Well, he's had a couple of weeks to recuperate and get his his mind back in a ball game the right way. Because when I say back in a ball game, anybody who's ever played any sports knows if you go out and you're mad when you're going out to play, you're not going to perform well. But if you go out relaxed and do what you want to do, and I'll be honest with you, when I came on this show tonight, I didn't want to do the show. I really didn't. I rant and raved a little bit, but I believe I've covered a point that I hope you guys see the point I was trying to cover, because it's just something that I was trying to show people. They're just doing silly things to aggravate us. Now, when we're told that they're talking about TICTOCK, it upset me. You've seen that. But were they really talking about that? Or is that way of them saying, hey, if them two countries don't end this war, we're going to go in and end it for them? And they don't want that, because, see, world leaders all over around the world, they're tired. And remember, guys, we've been hearing this now all month. It hasn't went away yet. I mean, tomorrow's the 20th, so we only got 10 more days left this month. But usually by now, if we've been told something's going to happen the first of the next month, they're starting to move it back a little bit. They haven't swayed on it. Remember, full effect. Big N and Big G is supposed to go into full effect. Supposedly, we're into the Big N and Big G already, but it's going to go into full effect on October 1. We do not have to be in Big N and Big G to go to the redemption centers. We don't have to do that. They're pushing. We just listen to Bruce. We just listened to the other information that I read from Tony, that they want 5A, or the common people. And I don't like to call common people, because to me, everyone's the same. But the people that's not serious about the redemption centers, the people that's not serious about the currency that they have, that they might have been giving it to them and they have no clue of what it is. But then all of a sudden, ring, 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 and I make a phone call and I say, hey, Ron, he says, what? I says, do you still have that currency I give you? Yes. Well, get ready, because next week you're going to have to go to your bank and exchange that and get your money. And you walk them through what they're going to need to do. You might even come down and take them over there. If you're willing to give someone something, make sure that they get through the system and they know what's going on. That's what you have to do. Don't give them a cherry pie and tie their hands behind them, or an apple pie and tie their hands behind them. Put a thing over their mouth so they can't even go, well, like that, and eat it. But be there for them. Be there to support them. Make them understand. And I wanted to say that there, because in closing, because, hey, we got 111 people on here, 111. And that's the second time I've seen that this week. So that's 2 times. We're going to move maybe tomorrow at 111, or maybe tonight, which would be tomorrow, which would be the next day, because tomorrow never comes. Am I confusing you like they're trying to confuse us? But anyway, I never thought I'd make an hour tonight, because I was not in a happy place. If Ron would talk to you, which he won't, because when me and him talks, what's Lori said? I'm trying to find. Lori must have said something, because Bill Woods has given her a thumbs up, but I can't find her here. So what they're giving a thumbs up to Lori about is Lori says hello. I lost it. Hello and blessings, everyone. You all need to follow Derek Johnson and Big Daddy, both really telling the truth of how close we are now with evidence to back it up. Hang on. So now, Lori, my question is, are we following them on what format? Is it on TikTok? Is it on Telegram? Do you have the where? I mean, because I used to follow the one gentleman, Derek Johnson. I like Derek, but then all of a sudden he disappeared on me. I really thought he, with his, he's the guy with the cowboy hat, or used to be. But yes, I will check it out. And for anybody else, oh, he's on YouTube. Okay, thank you. I will check him out. Thank you very much. And anybody else who wants to take her what was it? Derek Johnson and Big Daddy. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I want to thank the people in the chat for helping out tonight and being there. I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. As I said, Monday's show will be done at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time because of my son's birthday. Unless, maybe we'll get the stuff. Maybe we'll get the stuff this weekend and we'll have a special call this weekend. Go Bears. Go fight in the Illini. Big game for Illini tomorrow, guys. If you love me, root for the Illini. I know Diane, if she was here, she'd root for Iowa State, but they don't play each other. But if the Illini win tomorrow, they're setting themselves up for a really an amazing season, and their recruiting class is really setting up very, very well too. So that being said, I love you all. So does Ron. Have a great Friday night. Enjoy the rest of the evening, the weekend, and kids go outside and play. Good night. God bless, and we love you.